Continue to follow this breaking news, and joining us now on the phone is Alderman Ray Lopez of the 15th Ward. Alderman Lopez, thank you for joining us. At this point, I understand most, as far as we know, of the looting has happened north of you. Are you aware of any incidents in your ward?
Good morning, Alex and Lauren. No, I have not heard of any incidents on the south or southwest sides as of yet. I'm hopeful that we don't see a repeat of what we saw at the end of May, beginning of June, where it started downtown and migrated its way south. I'll be going out shortly just to double check and brace my residents to be aware, just in case.
We know there was a confrontation in West Englewood, which I believe is in your ward, correct, yesterday between police after a shooting there. People are asking what prompted this widespread looting. Do you have any information about that?
Well, I know that the shooting yesterday involved an officer chase after being an individual that was shot trying to evade police. But I don't necessarily believe that this massive looting was a direct result of that shooting. I don't think this should be put on the residents of Englewood. More than likely, as we've seen so often, there are people who try to co-opt instances. We've seen that with the death of George Floyd, and I believe we're seeing that now where individuals are using this as a catalyst to do something else.
Yeah, important to point out, Alderman, you're right, that we don't know all the connections just yet. But as far as what happened yesterday at 56th and Aberdeen and that confrontation, police said there was a lot of misinformation out there about what happened and whether or not it's connected to this or how much it is. What can you tell us about what you know yesterday, just so we have the latest on the situation there?
Well, yesterday we saw a large group of individuals who were trying to confront police because they saw on Facebook and other social media platforms rumors that a teenager was shot in the face while being unarmed by police officers, and that simply was not the case. Unfortunately, the police had to follow the procedures at the time to maintain the crime scene, but nobody provided any answers to the residents. And, of course, when they only hit Facebook and Twitter to learn things from, it just created a very tense situation. Thankfully, hours later, the police department finally answered the question and let them know that this was a police chase. An individual had a gun, an individual shot at the police first, and the police responded. But by then, the tensions were already high. But again, what we're seeing tonight, I think, is an attempt to manipulate the situation downtown, and hopefully it does not spread to the neighborhoods.
And, Alderman, you know that I think the tense, uneasy, frankly unsafe feeling that many Chicagoans are feeling right now watching what we've seen for the last 2.5 hours. You know that as well as anybody because you've been a victim of burglary, attempted arson. That was just last month, I believe. You speak out about how emboldened bad actors are in our city. What do you think motivates that? What do you think emboldens people to all of a sudden take action like we have not seen in the city now twice this summer?
Well, I think what we have right now is a situation where our communities have been on lockdown because of COVID since March 18th, I believe. We have individuals who are have a lot of pent-up anxiety and energy with zero outlet. They can't go to work, can't go to school. And what we're seeing time and again, particularly in instances like these, is, I've been target of vandalism and arson, but more importantly, we've seen where this has happened previously when the death of George Floyd occurred, when individuals used this situation, co-opted a situation to try and use that pent-up energy for whatever their purpose was. And we saw on Facebook last night a post that said that people were going to be organizing. Now, if the city knew that, or if the city had individuals monitoring social media and failed to act, we need to address that because we see so often these attacks, these lootings, these riotings, these organized events are being organized through social media, and we need to start being aware of that.
And to be clear, Alderman Lopez, you're saying that there was a post warning that this could happen, and I guess, are you questioning, like so many others, if that post was out there, why Chicago police were not prepared for this? Do you have that question this morning?
I saw this post at 9:30 last night, and I immediately called some of my CPD friends. And, like so many things that we see on social media, you don't know if it is a rumor. You don't know if it is real. But right now, this city, our police department, we cannot just make assumptions that these things are false. We can't just assume that information we're seeing is just someone putting out messages because someone somewhere may act on it, or it might be real. And we have to now operate in a world where we have to assume the worst, but hope for the best.
And Alderman, on that post, it said because CPD shot a 15-year-old boy in the face. But you're saying that fact, which may have inflamed emotions to lead to this, is not correct. Whatever happened there, we don't know yet. But it wasn't a 15-year-old boy, I guess, is what you're saying.
Well, first off, it was a young man that was shot. But obviously, whoever wrote that post was trying to use the rumor and innuendo that inflamed the crowd in Englewood to inspire individuals across the city to stand up and try and loot and revenge. That was a targeted misdirection by whomever put that out, whomever was organizing this, to try to once again let anarchy reign in the city of Chicago. And my hope is that we nip this now so that it doesn't continue on into the neighborhoods. We are just barely starting to get life back to normal with some of these stories.
And Alderman, we've been asking, you're the third Alderman we've talked to this morning. We've been asking, so far we have not heard from Mayor Lightfoot. We have not heard from Superintendent Brown. What do you want to hear? And do you think the National Guard is going to be part of the equation for solving this problem, or at least calming the situation?
Well, to be clear, I have not heard from the mayor or the superintendent either. I also haven't heard from my local commanders, which gives me hope that perhaps we're not dealing with this locally as of yet. But I think that what is obvious is that we need to change the manner in which that we're addressing not only these incidents, but incidents every day in the neighborhoods, because now it's clear that whomever is trying to target and manipulate our community's emotions is going to lie and spread fear and anger at the slightest misstep in an effort to destroy this city. We must address that. We must respond, and we must restore order in the city of Chicago. Because if people are not feeling safe downtown, if they are not feeling welcome in areas that normally attract people and help us generate revenue for our city, we will see the complete breakdown of Chicago's economic engine and the entire economy in short order within the next 6 months.
Alderman Ray Lopez joining us on the phone. Alderman, thanks for your time. We hope to talk to you again soon and talk more about solutions and what can be done. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys.